Are you thinking of moving to Garner, North Carolina? Well, today I give you 10 things you should know before moving here. So Garner is in Wake County, and it's a suburb of Raleigh, North Carolina, which is the capital of North Carolina. Garner has a population roughly of 35,000 people, and it has a growth rate of every year about 2.83%. County. And what most people love about Garner is that it's got that suburb feel, the rural country feel, but you're only 15 minutes away from Raleigh. You're only about 25 minutes away from the airport, International Airport RDU, and you're about 35 minutes away from Durham. And according to niche.com, they gave it an overall A rating.
You earned that A+++.
And one of the best places to live in North Carolina. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is the cost of living in Garner. Garner is 13% lower than the national average. And when you compare it to North Carolina as a whole, it's neck and neck with North Carolina. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, healthcare in North Carolina is expensive in general. I spend just over $600 for me, my wife, and my son. And of course, it depends what healthcare you go with. So that prices could vary, it could go higher, it definitely could go lower. The great thing about living in Garner, though, is you're near the Research Triangle Center. You're near a lot of great medical facilities. You've got Duke right down the street, you've got UNC Chapel Hill, and you've got State. Utilities are about 2 to 3% lower than a national average. Same with transportation, about 4 to 5% lower. Groceries are 15% lower. The average salary is about $40,000, and if you've got a household, the average salary is about $70,000. Now, I am a real estate agent, so the next thing I'm talking about is buying a home. So buying a home in Garner, on average, it's about $335,000.
It's not bad.
Now, home prices are still competitive at this time. The time you're watching this video, it is March 22nd, 2023. It's definitely a seller's market right now. And what that means is supply and demand. We have
supply and demand.
A low supply of homes and a high demand of buyers. So it's still very competitive. But homes in Garner are about 30% cheaper than Raleigh. So it's definitely a desired area because you're only 15, 20 minutes to Raleigh if you have to work there, if you got to commute there. Now, renting an apartment in Garner is around $1,400 a month, and you're looking at just at about 1,000 square feet. And if you're looking to rent a home in Garner, it's around $2,000 a month on average. Next thing to talk about are going to be the jobs in Garner. Now, there are not a lot of jobs in Garner. We've got the Amazon warehouse, which houses about 3,000 employees, and it's about 2.6 million square feet. Now, the job market in Garner has been increasing, but most people work in Raleigh and commute back to Garner. Now, the job market in Raleigh is exploding. You've got Apple that's coming here. It's going to house about 2,000 to 3,000 people.
Apple, right.
Durham is going to have a Google hub coming that's going to house about 1,000 new jobs. You get the Research Triangle Center that has about 50,000 employees. And you got a lot of other health jobs that are in the area. And definitely being Raleigh, you got a lot of downtown banks, a lot of tech jobs, a lot of banking jobs, a lot of corporate jobs. And definitely if your job takes you out of town a lot, if you got to travel, we have RDU Airport, which is an international airport, and you can get there in about 15 minutes from Garner. So that definitely makes it a lot easier if you have to commute. And since the pandemic of 2020, a lot of people are now working remotely from home. So Garner is a lot cheaper, possibly where you live at now. You may be able to sell your house wherever you live at now, or if you're renting, move to Garner, buy a house that may be a little bit bigger for you so you can work remotely and be more comfortable working from home. Always, the next thing I'm going to talk about are the schools in Garner, North Carolina. Now, due to the Fair Housing Act, I am not allowed to give you my opinion or tell you the best schools in the area or the most desired schools in the area.
Why?
But I can tell you this, though, due to the data I pulled up from niche.com, it is rated Garner schools as A's and A+. And that goes for the public schools and the private schools. I can also give you 2 websites you need to check out. First one is called greatschools.org. It is a third-party app, so not all that information may or may not be correct, but for the most part, I've used it a lot, and I've not seen anything that I would say is incorrect or anything that looked way out of whack.
Fully whack.
The next one I provide you is provided by North Carolina, and it gives you every school rating for North Carolina. It basically gives you a report card of North Carolina schools from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. I would say that's a more accurate website because it gives you the averages of below, above, medium. It tells you each school's math rating, reading rating, literature rating, grammar rating, even gives you academic skills. And it also gives you a percentage of high school graduates for each school. And I'll put both of those links right here in the bottom. You'll see it right here, and it'll also be in the description in the YouTube. So definitely go check it out. The next thing I talk about is going to be the weather. And for the most part, we get all 4 seasons, I believe.
4 seasons.
4 seasons?
Now it doesn't snow here a lot. I think the last time I seen snow here is probably a couple years ago. And I don't mean like 4 to 5, 6 inches. I mean more like 1 to 2 inches. It's more like little flakes, and they usually melt by the time you hit the ground. So nothing like you can make a big snowball or a snowman, unfortunately. Now we do have some winters where, we may get things like that. We definitely get very humid here. Get a lot of humidity during the months of, I'd say starting around mid-May, June, July, and August. And it's something you definitely need to get used to. I've not got used to it. I've lived in North Carolina for over 30 years. You would definitely run your air conditioner during the summer times. Another thing to look out for is the yellow stuff called pollen.
Hey, I can't do pollen.
Now that usually starts around March time, possibly, and ends around April, May time frame. And it will cover everything you own. Cars, riding with your windows down, which is a great time because it's right around springtime, is not the most fun because you're going to have all the stuff inside your car. You have your vents blowing, everything like that. So definitely you're hoping for a lot of rain every couple of days just to wash all this stuff away. And definitely our falls here are very fantastic. Everything's, all the leaves are falling, things like that. So we definitely get all 4 seasons here. I'm going to talk about winter again in school. So, since we don't have a lot of snow here, we don't have a lot of snow plows here. So definitely, if you're coming from up north and moving here, don't be surprised if school is canceled or 2-hour delay due to the fact of a bad winter storm. And you may get here and you go, this is not a bad winter storm. What are you talking about? But just be aware, we don't have a lot of snow equipment here, snow plows, snow trucks, things like that. They're only going to clear the main arteries and thoroughways of the area, so they're not going to come through your neighborhood if it's a lot of snow and smash all up and things like that. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the crime rate. Now, again, due to the Fair Housing Act, I'm not allowed to give you my opinion or tell you the best, safest neighborhoods, best safe zip codes, best safe part of the city.
What can you tell us?
I can provide you data that I found, and I went to Neighborhood Scout. Definitely check out that website if you want to. It'll be right here, and it'll also be in the description in the YouTube channel. And according to Neighborhood Scout, his rated the Garner is 7% safer than most U.S. cities. And the chances of you becoming a victim of a violent crime in Garner is 1 out of 217, and North Carolina's average is 1 out of 232. This is per 1,000 people. And the chances of you becoming a victim of a property crime would be 1 out of 31 people. And compared to North Carolina stats, it's 1 out of 45 people. And Niche.com gave Garner a C rating for crime. Now remember, Garner is just a little town or a suburb of Raleigh, but you're not far from things to do. Definitely if you want to go and check out Raleigh, we got museums, zoos, things to do, a lot of nightlife. Of course, Garner, a little bit of stuff there. It's got a little downtown area, but definitely I would say if you're looking for fun things to do with the family or, with your wife or your husband, definitely head to Raleigh. It's only 15 minutes away. That's one of the joys of living so close to Raleigh. And definitely if you want to get out of town for the weekend or just for the day, the beach is only about 2 hours away if you're headed to Wilmington.
Beach.
Okay. And if you want to head to the mountains, Asheville's about 4 hours away and Boone is about 3 hours away. If you have any questions about Garner or moving to North Carolina, definitely send me a message. All my information is in the description below. And definitely check out this other video I did about moving to North Carolina. See you guys in the next video.